hey, I'm going to help y'all get started on this matching activity because I don't want to hear y'all complaining. All right, so if you guys notice, when they give you the domain and range, it's in inequality form. So they give us a domain here, and they give us a range here. But I taught you guys the interval notation. So I'm going to show you guys how to transform this into interval notation so that you can correctly match the domain and ranges with your graphs. Okay? All right, so this reads x is greater than or equal to -4, and at the same time, it's less than or equal to 4. All right, so we have two specific values. So we know if we can pinpoint the actual value, we're going to use brackets, right? And my starting point is going to be -4, and my ending point is going to be 4. Okay, so this is question number 1. So you guys are going to look for a graph that has a domain of -4 to 4. All right, same thing with the range. This reads that x is greater than or equal to -4, and at the same time, it's less than or equal to 4. So if I rewrite it in interval notation, it's going to be -4, comma 4, and that's in brackets because this is specific values. Okay. All right, so make sure y'all make notes so that y'all can get through these questions. Another way that I saw it presented. All right, we have x for the domain. So this is for question number 4. We have x is greater than 0. All right, so anytime you see something like this, if x is greater than 0, that means x can be any number that's bigger than 0. And we know if it's any number, always think of our arrows. That's going to indicate that we are dealing with infinity. So that means that our starting point is 0, right? And we're going to infinity. Okay? All right, so when you guys see this, 0 to infinity. All right, say for the next question, number 7, we have a range, and the range says all real numbers. All right, this is another way of saying negative infinity to positive infinity, because this indicates that all real numbers fall in between this particular interval. Okay? And I want to say, what else? I'm trying to see if there's something that's less than. All right, so here's another example. Make sure y'all make note because all these come from your classwork. So if we have a domain where x is less than or equal to 0, that means that x can be any number that's less than 0. And if it's any number, that means it's infinity because we can't count the number of values. So if we write that in interval notation, it's going to be negative infinity to 0. Got it? All right, and then other than that, I think you guys should be good. So remember, 1 through 12, you guys are matching with graphs A through L. And then 13 through 24, you guys are matching with graphs M through X. So be sure that you guys understand that inequalities can also be written as intervals, which is how you guys learned how to recognize domain and range. My advice is to go to your graphs first, fill in the domain and range, and then go back and match it. It doesn't make sense to do it backwards. Okay? All right, and of course, if y'all have any questions, text me and let me know. This is due today before you guys leave.